नमस्कार, मैं हूं मनन रावल and you are watching Bharat Media. We have three verticals, that is Bharat Media, Bharat News and Bharat TV. This interview will be available on three of the platforms. We are coming up with our own OTT, that will be Bharat TV. The details will be provided as early as possible in the end of the interview. And we have our guest today, Devdutta Maji ji. He is from Calcutta, very prestigious constituency, that is Chaurangi. And people call him Bahubali. So in pre-conversation, I asked him, are you allowing me to use this word against you, that you are a Bahubali? And he said that, in fact, I am not that Bahubali what you think about me. I am not that UP wala Bahubali. But he keep doing a social work for the Hindus, those who have been persecuted by TMC and jihadis, those who are from the economically backward class, and they are in the rural areas, where anywhere in the West Bengal, any Hindu gets in a problem, they immediately contact him and they come in his shelter and he help him out. He is doing a noble, I can't say a noble, but a great job to save the Hindus' life there in Calcutta. Here is Devdutta Maji ji with us.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Thanks for your time. Welcome to Bharat Media.
Thank you. Tame kem છો રાવલ ભાઈ?
એકદમ મજામાં સાહેબ.
આભાર.
So you are familiar with Gujaratis, eh?
A bit. I'm interested in Indian languages.
Oh, okay. So let us start with the conversation, sir. I know that you are too busy. But the first question will be, describe the situation in Bengal as it has emerged in the past 30 years. How has it evolved from communist to TMC?
Look, West Bengal always had been a political hotbed, political battleground for almost all the political parties. But recently, in the last 7-8 years, we can see there is a huge rise in the vote of Bharatiya Janata Party, especially after Modi ji came to power. But before that, like almost 34 to 36 years, the communists have ruled Bengal. And then this is the third term Mamata has got. All this while, even in the communist regime, there had been political violence on the opposition and violence against the Hindus. But during Mamata Banerjee's regime, level of atrocities has crossed all boundaries. People cannot even imagine what is going through the common people living in remote areas, especially in the remote areas. People who are living in the cities or in the small towns, they have got some scope of demonstrating their pain, their sorrow, their anger also. But those people who are living in the most remote places, where there is lack of electricity, lack of education, lack of knowledge, what is happening in and around the globe. So those people, they were very simple and innocent and ignorant people. the so-called backward people. I cannot even describe what agony they go through. They are exploited by the ruling politicians. They are exploited by their neighboring jihadis, Muslims. They face a lot of problem, and this is happening for the last 30 years. But in the last 11 year or so, during the Mamata Banerjee's rule, this level of atrocities and type of atrocities has crossed all its boundaries. I can give you list of atrocities that has happened in the last 10-15 years on the Hindus. If you allow me, I've just noted some of those list of violence. I can read it out for the audience, so
Definitely.
they can understand. Yes, thank you for allowing me to do so, Ravalji. Like I'll just randomly, because it came to my mind, I just wrote it. 13th and 14th of December, this place, 2016. This is a place, Dhulagar, police station Pachla in the Howrah district, which is just opposite the Ganges River from Kolkata. We are in Kolkata, this is on the western bank of Ganges River. Massive attack for 2 days. Hindu houses, shops were looted on the day of Miladud Nabi, that was Muhammad's birthday. Hindus fled to save their life. TMC MLA Gulshan Malik, who used to be a Congress MLA before, Gulshan Malik was the architect of this violence. He led those mobs. He planned those violence against the Hindus. And in that case, even the editor of Z News, Sudhir Chaudhary, and myself, the police gave cases against both of us. We were taken to court by Howrah police, and ultimately we had to get bail and come out, in the legal way. Then 13th and 14th of October 2016, this is Koligram police station Chachol in Malda. Malda is a massively Muslim majority district situated in north of West Bengal. A massive violence during Muharram procession. Like even in the previous year, it happened in 2015 also. Hindus' properties were looted, many were injured, and even they didn't spare the temples. 7 July 2016, North Dinajpur, Chopra. Several villages came under this jihadi attack. Hindu villages were totally ransacked. Worst affected was Nainital colony, and police was present there, but they kept watching like mute spectators. Very sad. In West Bengal, police are just the extended hand of the jihadis and corrupt TMC politicians. 6th July 2016, place is Ramganj, police station Ramganj, again North Dinajpur. There was a serious attack on the Rath Yatra. We have holy Rath Yatra of Bhagwan Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaramji. The jihadis attacked the Rath Yatra. The Rath was vandalized, and then in the reaction, Hindus blocked the NH31 highway located near Madaripur. 3rd January 2016, again, place Kaliachok, Malda. And we all know the Muslims set the police station on fire. Police vehicles were burnt, and many Hindus were injured. 10th and 11th of November, Harwa village, Pursura district, Hooghly. 26 idols, 26 murtis of Ma Kali was vandalized, was broken. This is 10th and 11th of November 2015, district Hooghly. Can you imagine? 26 idols of Kali Ma was broken. Are we living in Bharat, or is this Afghanistan or Pakistan? I don't know. 25th December 2015, Advaita Ashram in Nadia, Shantipur. A Hindu boy was beaten to death by Muslims when he protested against cooking of beef in the ashram. This little Hindu boy protested as beef was cooked inside the ashram and he was beaten to death. This happened on 25th December 2015. 7th November 2015, place is Ashok Nagar, North 24 Parganas, which is also adjacent to Kolkata. A 16-year-old girl was beaten to death by her Muslim neighbor when she stood by her father in protest against illegal encroachment of her family property. These Muslims were taking control of their family property, encroached their family property. The girl's father raised his voice, and this little girl of 16 years, she was beaten to death. This is West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee's ruled West Bengal for just for your knowledge.
Yeah.
There are lists. I think I'm taking so much time.
No,
So if you
no.
want, I can carry on with this list.
So how this communist turned to TMC, and whatever the descriptions you are given with the list of your violences, is it only with the TMC workers are doing, or it is Hindu Muslims? What exactly the scenario is over there?
Look, Muslims always take advantage of the political scenario. Whoever is in power, especially we have seen this trend during the communist rule. The Muslims were with the communists and they did all they were supposed to do as per the direction of their imams and maulanas, and they tortured and create mayhem on the Hindus. And same thing, when they saw that there is a good chance of Mamata Banerjee coming to power, they shifted side. Mamata gave them much more assurances. But one thing is also that we should consider that the three districts that have massive Muslim majority, that is Malda, Dinajpur, and Murshidabad. When Mamata Banerjee came to power, these three districts didn't vote heavily for Mamata Banerjee.
Ah,
Mamata ditched the Hindus. These three districts, like Malda, people used to vote for Ghani Khan Chaudhary and his family. That is the Congress party. People of Dinajpur, they also voted for mainly for the communist. Mohammad Salim was campaigning there. And people of Murshidabad, they voted for Congress candidate and local boy Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. So the Muslims voted for them in 2011. I mean, them means their area, whoever the Congress and CPM representative at that time was, Muslim voted heavily for them, where Muslim were majority. And Mamata got most of the votes from the Hindu areas, most of the seats from the Hindu areas. But she gave a lot of assurances. Muslims bargained from her and got all the benefits in their kitty. And she ditched the Hindus. Sometimes I feel that she had some understanding with the Islamic world, and she got a lot of finance from there, a lot of support from there. I don't know, sometimes I feel from her way of working, her gesture, because when she came to power, first time in 2011, after that, she sent Imran Hassan Ahmad to Rajya Sabha from Bengal. she
Yeah.
sent Imran Hassan Ahmad to Rajya Sabha. This same Imran Hassan Ahmad used to be a Bangladeshi, a Pakistani national. And when he came to India, when he entered India illegally, then in India he formed SIMI, Student Islamic Movement of India, which is a banned terrorist jihadi organization. This Imran was sent to Rajya Sabha by this same Mamta Banerjee. So whoever says Mamta has got a lot to do for the Hindus, she has done a lot for the Hindus. She is actually a good Hindu. She prays to Ma Kali. She follows Hindu rituals. I say this is total nonsense, because if whatever she does inside her house, we Hindus or we public have nothing to do with it. We should only consider what she is actually doing. She sends one criminal, one terrorist to Rajya Sabha, Delhi, as a Rajya Sabha MP, the person who was the founder of SIMI. And how can we say Mamta is a good Hindu, Mamta is a good leader, Mamta is a nationalist? Especially when we also see in 2015, the grandson of Allama Iqbal of the Muslim League, his grandson Wahid Iqbal, I think I'm mentioning the name rightly, Wahid Iqbal, he was invited to Kolkata in the year 2015. And when he came to Calcutta, he was facilitated by several TMC leaders, mainly the Muslim leaders. Here in Kolkata, Allama Iqbal, grandson, he categorically said that Mamta Banerjee is the most popular Indian leader amongst the Pakistanis.
Wow.
So, where are we living? When a person from Pakistan who has the background of Muslim League, who is a Qattar person, first, why should he be invited to Kolkata? For what? His grandfather was instrumental in formation of Pakistan, that is to break our holy motherland, and his grandson was invited, and he gives certificate to Mamta Banerjee that she is the most favorite leader of Pakistani people, common Pakistani people, favorite Indian leader.
Oh.
So what narrative should we draw? And with her blessings and with her support, the entire state is fastly moving towards complete Islamization.
So that was the topic for today, sir. Is Calcutta or West Bengal is turning to Kashmiri violence? And that what exactly you are saying right now, that slowly it's going on that way only. Coming back to the main point, how is the demographics changes and how does it impact the politics and society of the Bengal?
Look, there is no doubt that there is a brisk change in the demography. There is a consistent and fast rise in the population of the Muslims, and there is a sudden drop in Hindu population.
Oh.
So this is a very alarming situation, and yes, this will have a toll, and this will have a big effect on the political outcome, political scenario. But still there is time. Still there is time. I think our leaders, our bureaucrats, our think tanks, our well-wishers, and we, the common people, should seriously think about this. Because we cannot be like other party. We cannot follow the step or the path of appeasement politics.
Yes.
So we have to do something. We cannot always, find out strategies. We need to implement them. We need to implement them
So,
because Ravalji, uh, in our lifetime only we have seen the very learned, very advanced, very well off, and very learned. We say knowledge is power. People with immense knowledge of Kashmir, the Kashmiri Hindus, mainly the Kashmiri Pandits, with all due respect to them, they had immense knowledge of the Shastra ka bhi knowledge tha, of our literature, of our tradition, of our culture, of modern science. So much knowledge. 5 to 7 lakh, our family members, our Kashmiri Hindu brothers, Kashmiri Pandits, sisters and brothers, they were thrown away from the Kashmir Valley. Just from some announcement from the mosque, their neighbors with whom they used to play, they used to gossip every day, they came and shot them to death. They raped their little children. They kept their women along with them in their house, captivated, and they killed the male members of the family. With all the knowledge, with all modern, things in their house, what happened? The knowledge cannot save us. Only knowledge cannot save us.
yeah.
We have to gather knowledge, and we have to act. We have to do according to the changing scenarios. That was not the only month or the only days when Kashmiri Hindus were attacked, raped, and killed and thrown out. Small incidents kept happening for many, many years. What lesson had we learned from that? Same thing happened in Bengal. People, we are saying Kashmir files, 5-7 lakh people were thrown out of the country. But what happened with Akhand Bengal? That is United Bengal. More than billions, maybe 2-3 billions people went missing from Bangladesh. They were thrown out of Bangladesh. They were tortured, raped, and killed in Bangladesh. The fanatics who draw their inspiration from that Arabian cult, they killed our people from Kashmir to Bengal, Sujala Sufala of our holy song. That is the Bengal that is lying in Bangladesh now. That is Bangladesh now. We lost that land also. Billions people went missing from that part of the land. Our temples were broken, looted. The Pakistani jihadi army, they blasted our temple with the tank, with the cannon.
Mm-hmm.
What lessons are we learning? What lessons are we getting? Our population is declining. What are we doing? When we cannot think of protecting our Sanskriti, our society, what is the use of so much knowledge?
So, is there anything that BJP is doing? So, BJP got more than 35% vote shares in this 2021 election. They have 78 MLS, if I am not wrong. How they are performing, and are they doing anything for the Hindu community there in West Bengal?
Look, BJP got huge mandate in the last 2021 assembly election in West Bengal. BJP got almost 2 crore 30 lakh votes. Only maybe around 40 lakh vote less than TMC. Okay, and TMC did all the malpractices, all the ill practices possible in election, right from casting false votes to counting. Everything they did, and they won. And there are many seats which BJP lost with very small margins. And just when the result was declared, right, even before the result was completely declared, right from the noon, atrocities and violence started against the Hindus, especially people who were marked as BJP workers and karyakartas. And this continued for several days, for more than months, and even it is continuing now. BJP got a huge mandate. BJP could have won. We targeted that we will win. But we didn't lose also. People gave us a lot of votes. But due to some ill practices of TMC leaders, we didn't reach the mandate we should have got. We didn't. We couldn't form the government, but we have got almost 80 seats. And after the violence, when the violence was taking place, many of these MLAs they shifted side. I think 7 or 8 MLAs or 6 or 7 MLAs they have left BJP, but still BJP has got more than 70 MLAs in the Vidhan Sabha, in the assembly, and they are all trying their level best to support the people of their area and morely the people of West Bengal. They are working hard to the best of their capacity. But what I want to appeal to the people, especially the Hindu people in and out of Bharat, that is, we should do whatever possible for our community, for our Sanskriti, for our Dharma, for our beloved and pious motherland. The leaders will do their work, but the leaders' hand will be strengthened when normal people are strong. When the normal people are good, their commitment level is, remarkable, can be noted for the motherland. Even the netas will be good. Even the leaders will be good. They will be also performing better. When we common people are really standing solid for Bharat Mata, for our Dharma. BJP leaders are trying their best. They are, moving against the evil force of Mamata Banerjee, evil force of this TMC government, who are hell bent to destroy the nationalist movement that is taking place in this part of Bharat, in West Bengal. Mamata Banerjee and her team are hell bent. So it is our struggle, like we struggle. Our forefathers, they gave their life for independence of Bharat. They fought against the Mughals. Our forefathers, they fought against the British. And now we are following that trend. And sadly, we are fighting a force that is a part of Bharat itself. Mamata Banerjee led TMC government in West Bengal. You can say it is no less than the British or the Mughals.
So, do you think that local community is also now Hindus basically are with TMC, or they are just shifting to BJP now? Are there any chances that they can 100% vote for BJP and they will come to their senses? They will open their eyes that what has happened in Kashmir, that can happen in West Bengal also?
Look, I am by nature a bit optimistic always. So I think, and I believe धर्म की हर समय विजय होगा. Dharma will always win. So believing that, like keeping that thing in our heart, that dharma will win. And as an optimist person, and as TMC is totally against dharma, uh, their activities are anti-national. So we don't have an option. We have to win. This is not our only our personal battle. This is also our personal battle, but not only our personal battle. It is a battle, a war for our Sanskriti, our culture, our tradition, our history, the honor and dignity of our rich Indian culture, for our honor and dignity of our Sanatan Dharma. If we fail, if we lose, we will lose this piece of land also, our population also. For this piece of land, for this holy land, our forefathers gave their life. They struggled so hard. So how can we sit like a layman and watch our culture and our land get destroyed?
Yes. So, what do you see happening in the next decade? How we can change the scenario, and are we taking any steps for that?
Uh, Ravalji, I'm involved in Ghar Wapasi, rescuing the love jihad victims, trying to rehabilitate them, guide them, counsel them. Then also stand and support the Hindus who are, regular targets of the jihadis, of the uh, hostile government in West Bengal, anti-national government. I try my best to stand and support them. Like if there is a conflict in an area, Hindus are arrested. So I try to help those arrested Hindus to get bail. When they are in jail, I try to support their family with, you know, their daily requirements, ration, foods and all, medicals and all. These are the small things that I try to do. And if we keep supporting our people and motivate them, tell them, look, numbers has a big role to play. It is ultimately the game of numbers. If we lose in numbers, we are going to lose everything. And they, our enemies, those who consider us to be their enemies, those who consider us to be unholy according to their Asmani Kitab, their population is rising brisk fast, right? We are always worried about our salary, our income, our turnovers, our Facebook and Twitter followers. What about our actual numbers? If we lose in this number, will our Twitter and Facebook followers help us to survive?
No.
A person in Rawalpindi, a Hindu in Rawalpindi or in Multan or Mazar-e Sharif or in uh, Chattagram in Bangladesh or in Libya or in Syria, a Hindu, even if he has 100 million followers, does he actually has that support? No. It is only the numbers you are having with you on the ground is your actual strength. There is importance. There is quite even virtual world is quite important, but that is not the ultimate thing.
Yeah.
That is with that help we are going to win the battle. We need to have that number. So we need to encourage our people to have more numbers. This is a number game.
So when you say that population of Muslims are getting day by day, Is it naturally, or you think that illegal immigrants are also being poured in West Bengal?
Illegal immigration is there, but those illegal immigration, it is happening from Bangladesh, which used to be our land before, a part of our land before, and they are increasing the number with the motivation to outnumber the kafirs, to outnumber the people who are doing puja to the Buddhas, to the murtis. That is their motivation. They earn their wealth for their calm. They make their building for their calm. They reproduce children for their calm. So in order to defeat them or for our own survival, we must do something. In a game of cricket, we cannot enter with a table tennis bat, can we?
Nah.
In a swimming uh, competition, we must learn how to swim. Then only we can dive in the water. So there has to be a balance in the game. Our neighbors, they are producing immense number of children. They're earning their wealth for their community. But are we doing something for our community, or only we are doing things for our self happiness? Do we have any community ambition, any community goal, any social ambition, any social goal? They have it. That is to make this entire planet Darul Islam come under the law of Sharia. Do we have any such target? People may say that we Hindus are very open minded, we are broad minded, we accept everyone. But the Abrahamic cult, Islam, and all, they came much, much, much after our this concept that everyone is with us, we are for everyone is for us. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. It came much after us. So when we thought of this thing was not in the game, was not in the field. So when that has come much later, we must rethink and make new strategies. We change our insurance policies, we change our mediclaim policies, we upgrade our car, even the mobile requires update, software requires update. What about our life policy? What about our social policies? Should we only worry about environment, soil, how to clean the rivers? We are thinking we are doing that. That is fine. That is needed. But what about the numbers? What about the virus? Human virus, the numbers are rising. What to do with them? Corona killed how many people? And what about the Asmani Kitab, the direction of the Asmani Kitab? How many people have they killed? So I think we should all think about this, and not only think, everyone thinks, must do something for this.
Coming back to the another point, when we were discussing about this interview in our office with my colleagues, and some of the narratives were there that whatever is shown is not exactly what is happening in Bengal, the genocide, the violence, and stuff like that. What exactly the reality is? Somebody just texted me the question that you skip this question, we need to ask him that what exactly the scenario is happening. Is it true, or it is a created narrative, or what exactly?
Uh, Look, often there are fake news. We cannot deny that. There are fake news. Sometimes there are fake news. And some of those fake news are not intended fake news. Some information comes, people unknowingly or knowingly send those information, and they come up in the social media. But I can confidently say that most of the news that is going through the people, billions of people across the globe through social media, most of the news are accurate. And I must also say that many news does not reach social media also. Many stories or many reports does not come to the social media also. And people, poor people, their lives are just finished in those isolated rural areas. Their lives are destroyed, and it does not make, forget the mainstream media, the social media also. But most of the narration, the what people are getting, the narratives, it is very much true. I gave you the example, na, a Simi founder of Simi, Student Islamic Movement of India, a Pakistani national. He does not only become a citizen person staying in West Bengal, he goes to the Rajya Sabha also, founder of Simi,
Yeah.
and a politician, writer from Pakistan, whose grandfather was Allama Iqbal, who was instrumental in formation of Pakistan. He comes to Kolkata and gives certificate to Mamta Banerjee that Mamta Banerjee is the most popular leader, Indian leader amongst the people of Pakistan. So, what narrative do we get? What do we expect from her and her team?
So, Ozen, you are saying that very few are the fake news, but most of them are real, and that's what exactly happening in West Bengal.
Right.
Coming to the main point, that just give me a very short answer. I don't, as and when you have already described each and everything, what exactly you wanted to know. But do you think that is West Bengal is turning to Kashmir?
Yes, yes, yes. And the fate of West Bengal, if we are not, you know, doing something very strong, we means everyone, the people who actually matters, the common people, the politicians, the bureaucrats, and the general Hindus living across the globe. If we don't do something for Bengal now, the fate of Hindus of Bengal will be worse than Kashmir. The fate of Hindus of Akhanda Bengal, that is when India was partitioned, Pakistan was created, the fate of Hindus of that time, East Pakistan, was more serious and more painful than the our Kashmiri Hindu brothers, because billion people over there disappeared, simply disappeared. So the fate of people of West Bengal will be more and more uh, bad, worse than the Kashmiri Hindus.
So basically, we don't need another movie like the Kashmir Files for our Bengal Hindus, right?
I think a movie can be made uh, with the drawing the history, what happened in Noakhali, what happened in Kolkata on those days of direct action that was called by Jinnah and Surawardi, the Muslim League. So a movie can be made because when like a movie like Kashmir File, it really shook this generation. People were sleeping. They were like, thanks to Vivek Agnihotri ji and his team, as they have awakened this sleeping society. So yes, maybe a movie on Bengal, up under Bengal, a movie on the direct action and those days of partition. Even in 1971, it is continuing. Even in this Durga Puja, a Hindu temple was discreted and ransacked, and people were attacked in Bangladesh. This is happening in Bengal also, in Bangladesh also, in Pakistan also.
Yep,
So a movie can be made.
definitely. Sir, do you want to say anything to our viewers and listeners? Because this is going on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on my radio channel, where we have maximum listeners, or around 50,000 people every day. They are listening to the radio. And would you like to give them any message?
What I would like to say is we are working very hard on the ground right here in West Bengal, which is a boiling, place. There are always, political tussle. There is always confrontation. In everyday life, there is struggle. We are fighting. We are struggling for our to keep the honor of our dharma intact, to help and support the followers of Sanatan Dharma. This is our daily battle. So I would request all the viewers and listeners to help and support the cause, because every second, every minute, every hour, every day is important for this struggle. Our enemies are much smarter, much faster, and much more planned and equipped than all of us. So this is a big battle, a big war. So we need support and help from all across the globe. And even I will say that please keep us in your prayers. That will help us a lot.
Yes, definitely. Prayer does has the power. I believe that. So, viewers and listeners, this was the interview with Devdutta Maji. Sir, I forgot to ask you one more thing. Do you have any NGO? If somebody wants to support your cause, or they want to monetarily help you out, how they can do that?
Uh, Look, we have we have a we have an organization. The name of the organization is Singha Bahini. That is the name of Mata Durga, Ma Durga. Uh, so people from within India can send support to that. Otherwise, you can like extend support or donation to my individual account also, which will ultimately go for the cause only. So I can give you the account number. If the viewers or audiences are mostly from abroad, then I think my personal account will
Yeah,
be more okay for sending people to send their support, and with
yeah,
that we can help the poor people.
sure. So, listeners and viewers, we are just going to give the details of his personal account. Those who are here living in US and want to support that noble cause, and I would strongly recommend that everybody, those who are listening and viewing this interview, should support this cause. It's an existence of Hinduism in West Bengal. And I strongly believe, and that is the cause that I choose this subject, the tagline that is West Bengal turning to Kashmir? And if we don't want to have it, we need to support these kind of causes. Money is the power nowadays, and that is the only key that we can support them. Once any persecuted, backward, family backward, economically backward people are persecuted there in West Bengal, they come to his shelter and he helps him out. It's a noble cause. So I request all of you to support him. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram.